Hello, universe. Welcome to my world. We're doing Angelina Jordan for a change today, just like every other time. We're going to be revisiting Gloomy Sunday. This is the very first video I ever did in prehistory last summer, except, of course, apologies to those in Norway who have had it blocked. We're doing it with unusual spin today. We're looking at the whole song and the history of the song with many other versions. Originally, the song was written in Hungarian in 1936, and this was a rough year because it was at the end of the Depression, which was worldwide, and the seeds of World War II were simmering already, and it was a difficult year everywhere. This song is not a happy song. It is a bit morbid, and in fact, when Angelina Jordan performed at age 7 at Norway's Got Talent, she was asked if she knew what the song was about, and she said without hesitation, yes. It means it's a sad Sunday. But it's more than sad. It's actually, I would say, it is a song for depressives, and it is known as the Hungarian suicide song. Let's have a listen to what the original sounds like in Hungarian.
Szomorú vasárnap 100 fehér virággal, vártalak, kedvesem, templomi imádon. Álmokat kergető vasárnap délelőtt.
Next version, we will be listening to the version by Elvis Costello. He was originally a Londoner, and he came somewhere around the time of punk. He came around the time of when Sting became famous, and his version is actually quite good. But the more versions we hear today, I'm afraid the more his version becomes more and more ordinary. This is Elvis Costello.
Gloomy is Sunday, my hours are slumberless. Dearest of shadows, I live with the numberless. Little white flowers will never awaken you, not with a black coach. Sorrow has taken you.
Next, we will be doing 3 slightly similar versions. We will be doing female vocal artists. We will be doing Sarah Brightman, Sinead O'Connor, and Björk. Sarah Brightman, the first one, she is a classical singer and she does a really superb version of it. Of all the 3 we're about to hear, her voice is the most crystal clear. And for me, it is the most haunting. Followed that by Sinead O'Connor. Sinead O'Connor is Irish. She is most famous for her cover of the Prince song Nothing Compares With You. And her version is also very soulful and very penetrating. Followed that by Björk, who is the Icelandic star, and her version is also very distinctive, as are the other 3. Listen to how these 3 sound together.
Sunday is gloomy, my hours are slumberless. Dearest the shadows, I live with the numberless. Little white flowers will never awaken you, not where the black coach of sorrow has taken you. Sunday is gloomy with shadows, I spend it all. My heart and I have decided to end it all. Soon there'll be flowers and prayers that are sad, I know. Let them not weep, let them know that I'm glad to go. Gloomy Sunday with shadows suppose I spend it all. My heart and I have decided to end it all. Soon there'll be prayers and candles are lit, I know.
Next, we will be going more into the world of jazz, and these versions just get more and more interesting and unique. Sarah Vaughan is a classical jazz singer. She's not quite as famous as Ella Fitzgerald or Billie Holiday, but she should be. She's 10 years younger than Billie Holiday, and she does a very original version. She makes a lot of very original choices musically, and I like this version from Sarah Vaughan.
Sunday is gloomy, my hours are slumberless. Dearest, the shadows I leave with are numberless. Little white flowers will never awaken you, not where the black coach of sorrow has taken you. Angels have no thought of ever returning you. Would they be angry if I thought of joining you?
Following that, we have a version by Paul Robeson. He is the early 20th century bass baritone who did many different types of singing styles, especially spirituals. And he has a very, very rich and very distinctive voice.
Then came a Sunday when you came to find me. They bore me to church and I left you behind me. My eyes could not see one I wanted to love me. The earth and the flowers are forever above me.
Now we come to the business end of the video. We come to Billie Holiday. Billie Holiday, her version of Gloomy Sunday is the gold standard. And when people hear of Gloomy Sunday, they immediately think of Billie Holiday. Now, she was probably the first idol that Angelina Jordan had. And Angelina Jordan, when she was 3 and 4 years old, she was already experienced on YouTube. She was exposing herself to jazz, and she immediately took to jazz, and she used Billie Holiday as her idol. And if you listen, we will intersperse the two versions. If you listen to them, you can actually see and hear Angelina Jordan has a perfect ear. The way she has taken Billie Holiday's version and followed it so very, very closely and very exact. Not just the tune, but it's the phrasing and the timing. But Angelina Jordan's version makes me cry, and Billie Holiday's does not. And it is not because Angelina Jordan, age 7, is totally adorable. It's something else, something which cannot be explained. If you listen to the two versions, they're very, very similar, and what differences there are very, very subtle. And it's worth focusing on that. If you listen to the individual notes, Billie Holiday, when she sings the notes, they're equally full throughout the whole length of the notes. Angelina Jordan tends, the second half of the notes, just to fade away a little bit more. So Billie Holiday's note and her voice in the note is more full, whereas Angelina Jordan has a little bit less of a voice at the end of certain notes. And for me, that actually I prefer Angelina Jordan's version. She invites me in more to hear her. And Billie Holiday is a wonderful, wonderful version, but there's something that invites me in, and it's almost like quicksand when I hear Angelina Jordan's let's listen very, very carefully to the two versions interspersed, and we will hear word for word where there are differences. Can you hear the word slumberless? At the end of slumberless, Angelina Jordan, her voice trails off a little bit, and Billie Holiday is equally full with the whole length of the word slumberless.
Sunday is gloomy, my hours are slumberless.
Sunday is gloomy, my hours are slumberless.
Same with the word numberless. Angelina Jordan's voice trails off. She doesn't quite hold the note to the very end, whereas Billie Holiday does.
Dearest, the shadows I live with are numberless.
Dear is the shadow I live with numberless.
Same with the word you. Angelina Jordan trails off a little bit. Billie Holiday does not.
Little white flowers will never awaken you.
Little white flowers will never waste on you.
And in this musical phrase, Billie Holiday has a slightly higher pitch. She sings it a little bit higher than Angelina Jordan does.
Would they be angry if I thought of joining you?
Would make me angry if I fall to join you.
When they both sing the word dreamin', they both have a quiver in their voice when they sing that word. And the quiver is identical. It's amazing how similar Angelina Jordan's singing this one word is to the original Billie Holiday.
Dreaming.
Again, with the word deep, you can hear the fullness of Billie Holiday's sound, and Angelina Jordan doesn't quite fill the word with the same depth as Billie Holiday.
I wake and I find you asleep in the deep of my heart. Deep.
I wake and I find you asleep in the deep of my heart. Deep.
At the end of the song, the last phrase that Billie Holiday has it filled out much more than Angelina Jordan. You can hear the difference in the very last phrase.
Wanted you. My heart is telling you how much I wanted you.
My heart is telling you how much I wanted you. Sunday.
This was a phenomenal version by Angelina Jordan. It immediately, with her breakout performance that made her world famous, she had 5 million views on YouTube. And you can hear the unbelievable talent and the perfect pitch and the perfect ear that she has, and why everyone was astounded by this 7-year-old performance. Okay, gang, we will run with Angelina Jordan. We have a lot more to get through. You take care.